So the funny season around Europe kicks off with the opening of the transfer window, and Blackburn Rovers, of course, got a bit of money to spend to try and keep their promotion bid alive. And of course, what else are they got to do is keep a hold of the best players. Who's going to go? Who's going to stay? We'll take a little look next. Game with another buy, keep or sell video with, of course, Blackburn bloody Rovers. That's right. Of course, we'll take a look at the first team squad, see who I think should go, see who I think should stay. Of course, who I think maybe a couple of suggestions of maybe Blackburn Rovers should buy. We'll take a look at it, all of it in a minute. Of course, big shout out about We Are Bloody Peas. Of course, they are the Patreons. And if you know where you've been, smash your subscribe to keep banging up the all things Rovers related, but championship related. Bloody house of world football, we're going to all here under one roof here, of course. So let's take a look at the whole team and, of course, tell you who's going to go, who I think should go anyway, and, of course, who I think will stay. So here we go, boys, in the old vortex then, shall we? Now we're going to go at player by player, coming at you in a bit of a random order, of course, and I'm going to give you my opinion about what's going to happen. Now, it's a bit two-sided here. Of course, I'm going to give you my thoughts on the matter, and of course, I think I'll give you basically the tail of the tape, what I think will happen, of course, this campaign. So here we go. Let's take a little look at it. I'm going to start with pretty much a guarantee to be staying. That's, of course, Sam G. That's right, Sam Gallagher. Recently just signed a new deal. And I think it's an important bit of business for Blackburn Rovers, keeping him here for at least another season and a bit, 2 seasons. Because it's not if, it's when Diaz will leave. Of course, he's had a fantastic season. We have got to think about this as a business opportunity for for ourselves, and of course the longevity of the club. Diaz will score goals, and we'll talk more about him in a minute. But of course, whether it's now or never, or now or next season or whatever, we do need a striker on our books. And Sam Gallagher is proven at this level as well. Now, if of course by hook or by crook we do manage to get ourselves promoted to the Premier League, is he Premier League quality? Probably not. But of course we do need to have a bit of squad depth as well. So I do think keeping him on the books is a good bit of business. So I'm keeping Sam G up there. Of course, no brainer. We just signed a new deal as well. Another guy which I think will join Sam G and of course staying will be Tyrese Stolen. Of course, been a bit of a push to the back to the bench recently. Of course, with the success of Kadra, but still, of course, a weapon from the bench. And I think this weekend, if I can get this video out on time, a good opportunity for Tyrese to maybe restake a claim in the first team, maybe in the FA Cup. So Tyrese Stolen, of course, a wizard, causes all kinds of problems. And again, he's still very, very raw. And I think if we don't get promoted next season, is the season to watch for Tyrese Stolen. Of course, getting the first team action this season will, of course, make him a better player for next. Another guy who's not really been given the chance to flex his muscles so far, and again, hopefully this weekend we might see him, is Dan Butterworth. And when he has come on the pitch, he has shown some flashes of quality. I think he hit the woodwork in his last occasion, opportunity from the bench. Yeah, he is, of course, a very raw talent, and I'm hopeful, I'm optimistic that he will click into gear and become a decent little player. Don't know how high the ceiling is for him, for his talent, but I do believe there is a player in there, and a player that we can hopefully, maybe the next Matty Derbyshire. Should we put a label on him for that? Again, Matt Derbyshire never really ripped it up on a global monstrosity, humongous scale, but he still was a player, and still of a player that did play Premier League games for Blackburn Rovers. Will that fall, of course, on the agenda for Butterworth? I hope so. And again, for next season, I think he could be a big part of the manager's plans. Now, I'm putting the manager as in it could be an open bracket there. Could be Mowbray. Probably he's going to be Mowbray because I think he's secured himself a deal, I think, from this season, as long as he can maintain a top 6 push. Another guy is young McBride here. I think he's out on loan at the moment, or is he? Is he? No, maybe it's. Either way, he's a youngster yet to feature. Of course, Conor McBride. There we go. That's the first name. It just took me a second to get there. Again, a young raw talent. Again, I don't know when we're going to see him at full kilt for Blackburn Rovers, but I definitely want to keep an eye on. He ain't going to go anywhere. If anyway, he was going to go out on loan. Another guy that is out on loan is Vale. Jack Vale. I think he's signed up for in non-league, and again a talent. I don't know if they'll make it through to the first team eventually, but they've got to take these opportunities when they can, when they're on loan. Moving into midfield, then of course, ever present, I think, or at least should be an ever present, is of course Travis. Lewis Travis there, of course, a man in midfield, key part of the ingredient for Blackburn Rovers. Of course, he doesn't get all the headlines, but he does do a lot of the donkey work, a lot of the tackling, a lot of the crunches, and a lot of the grit that we need to keep on moving forward. He ain't going to go anywhere. We're not going to sell him at this time anyway. But I think if he keeps on going, of course, we're going to have to start to fend off the suitors for him. But I'm hoping he can, with the potential of maybe some of the more experienced players, maybe Darren Lennon might be lured elsewhere. I think the captain's armband awaits for Lewis Travis. He can keep his head clean and his nose to the ground. And of course, we could have a new skipper on our hands in Lewis Travis. One player, here we go. Here's one we're talking about. Is Joe Rothwell. Of course, we don't know about him, where he's going to be, what he's going to do. His contract is up at the end of the season. What do we do? I don't know. I really don't know. This one's on the fence. I would gamble. I would take a gamble on this one and say, you know what, Joe, we're not going to accept any bids for you because I think you're such a unique player, and maybe give him a bit of get a bit of belief that he is, of course, the real deal, and of course put some respect on the name, and just see where we are at the end of the season. Hopefully, that's the only problem is the attraction of overseas clubs. If anyone's out there that's interested in Joe Rothwell, they, like, for example, Scotland was a worry with Rangers, but of course Stevie Gerrard's moved on to Aston Villa. I don't think that's going to resurface again. So I think I'll just gamble and play our cards, and hopefully at the end of the season we'll be celebrating, and Joe Rothwell can be rewarded with a new contract, and of course we'll pay the dividends in the end. Here we go. So next, Ian Pavida, of course, big time injury. I would like to cancel the loan, if I'm honest with you. Of course, we ain't going to get another game out of him. He's going. It's kind of a dead rubber. Hopefully, we can get that nixed, and of course send him back to Leeds. He had a couple of flashing moments, but to be honest with you, nothing that set the world on light for him in his short spell. Next, of course, we have Bradley Johnson. Of course, I think limited so far this season, but again, we shouldn't be cutting our nose off to spite our face. We're only a couple of injuries away before Bradley Johnson has to be coming and drafted in. He can play at centre-back when needed. And again, his experience will be pivotal for Blackburn Rovers moving forward. I don't see him as a long-term solution for anything. Of course, he's getting on a little bit. But for the next 4 or 5 months, it could be the difference between automatics, playoffs, and of course in the top half of the season, top half of the table. So we do need to keep a hold of Bradley Johnson. He's got a goal in him every now and then, and of course he does know he's been around the block, of course, and we're going to need that. When you look at the core team of this Blackburn Rovers, we are very, very young. We don't have many players of the age of Bradley Johnson. So I'm gonna give him some respect, and of course he stays put. Davenport, here we go. He's not been given the best of luck, and again we're not overrun with midfielders. Again, Travis, Rothwell, Buckley at the minute start for me, but any injuries to either of those three, then you're looking at Bradley Johnson, you're looking at Davenport to come in. And again, this weekend with the FA Cup, I do hope to see Davenport play, hopefully start as well. We saw glimmers of him last time around, but he is a little bit riddled with injuries, and he hasn't really had a chance to really stake his claim. I do think there's a player in there. I just don't know what level of a player it is. Is it can he help us go towards the Premier League, or will he be more of a Championship player, maybe even a League One at best? I don't know. The jury is still honestly out on Davenport, but he is, of course, needs to get more game time, and at the moment it's not happening. I'm going to keep a hold of him. Again, another youngster, which unfortunately didn't work out, Loney. Leighton Clarkson, Rovers through and through. You cut him open, he'll bleed blue and white, but unfortunately, he wasn't ready, I don't think, for Blackburn Rovers. I think, to be honest with you, I just think it was a little bit unlucky with Rovers. The fact that Travis, Rothwell, and Buckley sort of just clicked, and we've seemed to have found our 11. It was just hard for Clarkson to get in. There was moments of brilliance for him, but unfortunately, we're not going to see him again this season anyway in the Blue White House. He's gone back to Liverpool, and again we'll have to see. I hope we will see him again in the future in the Blue White Halves. One Loney who has proven to take his chance very, very well is Kadra. That's right, Kadra, who's got a couple of goals to his name as well, and he knows whether he's got the bit between the teeth at the moment, and I think we've got to keep on playing him. I think we get the best out of him. He causes problems, electric pace, a bit of a Tasmanian devil sort of stuff, kind of like Tyree Stoneman, but a little bit more grounded and ready, game ready. I think is Kadra. He's proven it already with goals, and he's already linking up nicely with Diaz. So I'm putting him up to stay. Let's keep a hold of him and see where he goes. Now here we go. Now we've been linked with a couple of right backs. In fact, we've actually signed one right back initially for the under-23s, but we're linked with another one, which I believe tells the tale here of Ryan Nyambe. I think, unfortunately, I love the guy. I really do. I love him. I love them like David Raya, of course. It sucks. It sucks when one of your own goes, and it sucks when one of your own goes for peanuts. Now we're going to lose. I think we're going to lose Nyambe, and we're going to lose him for little money. I hope we can get a bit of money for him and send him off to in due course. The links are. Who did I see? Did I see Leeds? Leeds maybe, Southampton, somebody like that. I don't know. If it's the Premier League, fair dues to him. You know, you can't knock that. I just hope it's not to another Championship club. So I feel we should sell him. We should sell him while we go, because we have been linked with a couple of. We've got one in the bag, and we're linked with another one, a Dutchie. We'll talk about him later. But I think it's time, Nyambe. I don't want to sell you, but I'm going to have to, because I just think getting a couple of million for you, if we're lucky, will be better than letting you walk away for free. But you know what? You have to evaluate the situation. You could be swapping life for potentially 2 or 3 months in the Premier League. And of course, then you might get relegated at the end of the season. You know, on the flip side, you could be looking at something phenomenal at Blackburn Rovers. Another player's contract is wobbling, and we do need to sort it out. Is this guy, Darrell Lenihan? Key component to the team right now. I don't see why you have to sell him. And again, will he be? It's a gamble. It's a gamble for Blackburn Rovers to let this dwindle out. Now, we have been linked with a couple of other players, and I'll elaborate on one of them in a minute. Thankfully, I don't get paid the big bucks to make this decision, but I would gamble. I would gamble again. He's captain, and hopefully he leads by example and decides to stick around. But Darrell Lenihan is massively important to us for the future, and if we don't make it to the Premier League or don't make it to the top 6, you know, hopefully the Venkies will budge. We'll think, you know what, we've had a fantastic season. We'll move the goalposts a little bit and offer you a little bit more money, and maybe that'll be enough for him to sign the deal. But to lose 2 academy products in one transfer window will be a sucker blow. But in fact, the likelihood is we could lose them both before we kick a ball next season. So, and of course, for little or no money. So, but I think keep Lenihan is important, as is this guy. Of course, we do need some depth, of course, for the season, and Daniel Ayala's been fantastic when he's come in there. It's quite sad that he's actually been made to wait his turn now. But Van Heck, Wharton, Lenihan have made an actual a dream partnership at the back of my little boy band. So Ayala will stay in my eyes. And of course, another loanee, Van Heck, is also ploughed forward and bounced back from a wobbly start to his Rovers career. Of course, he was part of that 7-0 drop, and he actually got himself sent off. So a huge component of that defeat. But since then, he's responded with goals and commitment and fight for the badge. So, you know what? I wouldn't mind making that deal a permanent one if we could do just that as well. Kicking on forward, we have Joe Rankin Costello, a.k.a. Sick Note. But he is a key player, another Rovers Academy product as well. If we can get him on into the team, he could be massive. And again, with the prospect of Nyambe leaving, and of course the uncertainty of who's going to be taking over that right back spot, this could be the chance for Joe Rankin Costello. No, he's not really a right back, but he could play wing back, and of course in this high flying, high tempo full back role that we've got going on at the moment. So let's get him in, get him some game time. Hopefully we'll see him in the FA Cup this weekend, and again hopefully we'll start to bed him in, as well as feel good James Brown. Of course, one guy we're going to miss quite recently over the next few weeks is Harry Pickering. A big signing around about this time last season, actually. What am I doing here? Big signing last season. We bought him in January. We loaned him back to Crewe, but now he's taken the left back spot with both hands. However, he is injured, so we're going to have to wait a little bit to see him come back as well. Scotty Wharton, here we go, man, fantastic. We're unbeaten with this guy in there, and hopefully that will continue as well. Ain't going to go anywhere. I'm going to put Scotty Wharton right up there. Again, another academy project. We did strengthen the left back, and we did bring in Taylor Dunn. No, he's going nowhere for me. And I like him. I like him a lot. So Taylor Dunn will be a key asset. So here we go. Aiden Carter came in, got a red card. I don't know. I'm not up to speed at the moment, but I at the moment we have 3 centre backs and we have starting. Of course, Ayala could come back in whenever we need be. I do think we do need some depth here, and guys will have to play the waiting game, and hopefully Hayden Carter can be one of those guys. We could get loaned out. The only way I would loan him out is if we bring somebody else in. I think we do need 2 waiting in the wings centre backs to come in should we have an injury to one of the other guys. And if we are to loan him out, I would have him on a loan with the recall if shit hits the fan. But ultimately, I'm going to keep a hold of him because I don't know. I don't know where we're going to be in regards to transfers in that area. One guy's already out is Pikey. I'm just going to put him down here. Even though we're not selling him, he could be the future right back. Same can be said for Taylor Magalore. He's also out on. Well, if he's not out on loan, maybe we could loan him out. I think we could be flexible. He did get a couple of games. Yeah, I don't know. Can he play at right back as well? Either way, I think he could do a loan. I keep Carter, let Magalore go. Kaminsky, again, his contract is okay for. I think we got an extension for next season. We've got to keep a hold of him regardless. Moving into next season, whether we are up in, of course, the Dreamland, which will be fantastic, with then we can sign him on a longer deal. Or if we're not, if we're in the Championship, we've got to keep a hold of Kaminsky. He is a top draw quality keeper. They don't come around that often, and we've got ourselves a bit of a banger here. I know he's going to get attracted by elsewhere, some big time offers, but I don't think no one's going to come in from this transfer window. So let's keep him clean, keep his nose clean, and let's see where we are. Of course, next season. So Kaminsky will stay for me. There we go. Ainsley Pears has proven to be a deputable backup and a quality understudy as well, and showed when Kaminsky was out for a couple of games, he stood up to the quality and had a good couple of games as well. And I'm hoping he gets some game time as well in at least the cup competitions as well. Young Stegnakis, again, I don't know what his deal is. Apparently he's one of the young guns that should come through. He's not ready for first team action just yet, so we'll see about what he looks like in the future. Next up, of course, we have the returning Bradley Dacarino. I am looking forward to seeing him pull on the blue and white shirts. He ain't going to go anywhere. No one's going to touch him with a barge pole at the time being because they don't know what they're going to get. But it's his the fact that we've got this guy coming back is huge, is monumental, and it could be the difference between us. If we don't make any major signings or difference makers in the transfer market, it doesn't matter. We got one right here. This guy has got goals in it. He's got creativity. On his day, he's probably the best attacking midfielder in the Championship. But of course, we need to get him back on his day. Of course, he was broke ACL, one leg, ruined a whole season. Second, I think he was back a handful of games. He was scoring goals as well, and also got injured as well. So hopefully he will come bounce back, and of course bounce back into the first team, and also bounce back and steer and lead us towards some success this season. So Bradley Dacarino is there, and of course we have John Boccarino, who's been playing in that role basically. And he's been a standout superstar player. And again, I'm a little bit worried or concerned or how we fit all that creativity into one team. The back three seems to work. 3 centre backs. The full backs seem to work as well. Yeah, I just don't know. I just don't know where you can. Basically, Buckley's got to keep on his game. I think Dak could maybe support Diaz, however, he doesn't have that pace. I don't think he has that pace. But regardless of all that, I'm just looking forward to it. Speaking of Diaz, there he is. Save the best till last. Ben Brereton Diaz. Hoodies are available. Check out the link down below. Of course, linked with a lot of teams here. It'll be the stupid. I know Venky's have made some bad calls in their time as owners for Blackburn Rovers, but this would be up there if they were to sell. The goals are keeping us afloat here. The goals are putting us in the spotlight. The goals are putting us in contention, not only for playoffs, but at the moment top 2. Of course, I'd love to see us remain in that top 2, but of course it's going to be a tough old season at the end of it. Having an A-grade striker lead the charge now for the rest of the campaign is paramount if we're going to have any success or ambition to get into the dreamland that is the Premier League. So you might be tempted by a 25-30 million pound offer, but I believe those suitors will still be there come July. He's got 20 goals this season. If he only adds 2 or 3 more, it doesn't really matter. There'll still be suitors out there that will come sniffing for Ben Brereton Diaz. So, you know, you're risking, if you do sell, you're risking losing. You might get a short gain of 30 odd million. Again, you're probably going to have to spend a little bit to replace that. And you might have to spend a chunk of it to replace that. But if, let's just say, we were to get into the Disneyland, instead of getting 30 million and losing a top quality striker, we could be getting 100 and something million and still have a top draw striker. So it'll be stupid, nonsensical for us to sell Big Bad Ben Brereton Diaz now. Of course, the suitors will be there. He's heading into a massive year for himself. World Cup at the end of the year. He should go nowhere. Stick with it. You're playing great football. You're not going to swap playing football for the grind of maybe a lower Premier League. I know you're going to play in the Premier League. Of course, all eyes will be on you. But you're going to be. Why change a glorious atmosphere at the moment to go for something absolutely shit? So hold tight. Keep your willy in your pants, and of course, you'll wait till the summer, and then you'll be, of course, either you play with Rovers in the Premier League, or you'll be looking elsewhere for, of course, Premier League action. That's, of course, that. Of course, let's take a look at some of the players that we have brought in. We have brought in this guy here. Feel good, James Brown. That's right. Of course, he is a right back by trade. Can play at left back as well, so very, very versatile. That's done. That's a done deal. He's on the line, signed for a short-term contract, 6 months, with the possibility of a longer term deal in the summer. So hopefully he will become the next best thing. So we have been linked with this guy, Ollie Burke, as well, as a potential addition to the forward line. At first I was like, nah, forget about it. However, once I did a little bit digging, and I know it's been declared a dead rubber, not really nothing coming of this Ollie Burke situation. But if it was to come, I wouldn't be too disheartened about it. He's got pace, electric pace. Look at that, 90 pace. Yeah, the goals haven't been coming for him, but you know what? The goals weren't there really for Diaz either. I think if he gets the right service, treat him right, I think he could be a really good player. Playing for Leipzig, played in Spain, he's been around a bit, and of course he's gone for big money as well in the past. So I think there's a player in there. Whoever is to sign Ollie Burke, they're going to be rewarded in long term. I would say go for it. So I'll put him down there. Another player that we've been linked with is Ryan Hedges of Aberdeen. I know the little logo says Barnsley. Same could be said for Burke, who's on Sheffield United's books. Again, Hedges has been linked with Rovers for a long time now. The contract situation, I think, is we could go in now for and offer him an end of season deal, which would be great. Again, formerly at Barnsley, Aberdeen, good little player, wide player, attacking player as well, and we do need those numbers in that department. So again, I think it's a great move all round. I think for Hedges anyway, it's a shit move for Aberdeen. Have a good chance for him to showcase what he's got on his locker. So I'd say sign him up, Tony. Bring in Ryan Hedges to join James Brown. Also, we linked with this guy Suter. Now again, this is it. This is the apple and the pears thing. We've got Darrell Lennon. If Darrell Lennon stays, forget it, Suter. We don't need you, of course. But we've got to realise what's on the offering. If we sign Suter, then I believe Darrell Lennon's on his way out. That's the cut and the dry of it. If we bring in a centre back now, then I believe Lennon is not going to sign a new deal, or he could even be leaving in this transfer window. Suter, I think, is now been attempted by Rangers. Stoker in there as well. I just don't think that we're going to be in this one. I think we're not going to get this guy. I'd love to see him. Scott at the back would be great, but unfortunately, I think it's a non-starter. And of course, we've just been linked today with Zeefuik. That's right, Zeefuik in hell, man. Little Dutch right back, plays at the books for Hertha Berlin in the Zweite Bundesliga, and I'm all about this as well. I think I don't know. Again, I just Googled him. I don't know anything about the guy, but if Nyambi's going, we've got James Brown, who's a risk. We got him on a 6-month deal. We could prove to be the next Seamus Coleman. He could be proved to be the next Todd Kane. I don't even know. But back, we need some options on the right back. I think we got left back covered. Taylor, Pickering on their days. I think they're quality little left backs. If Nyambi's not here, on your look on it, we haven't got really any recognised right back. James Brown, Zeefuik would add to that. So I'd say bring him on in. Bring on Zeefuik or bring on somebody. Cyrus Christie is another one we've been linked with. Not really up for that. I'd rather take a punt on this youngster here. He's only 24 years of age. Decent pace as well. So that's my take on the buy, keep, or now for Blackburn Rovers. Of course, we'll see whether or not any of those stay or go. Let me know your thoughts and opinions. Do you agree that Nyambi should go? Do you agree that We should keep Diaz. Let me know your thoughts, opinions down below. As of course, Blackburn Rovers look forward to return to Championship action very soon. Of course, FA Cup this weekend, and of course, better keep an eye on the transfer window. That's it. Give us some love in. Smash your thumbs up. Smash your subscribe. Check the links down below. I'm on Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, and of course Patreon. And if you want to get involved with the channel in another way, we are looking to create my Avengers. That's right, Team Avengers of content creators. If you want to get involved, let me know. Get down below here. Say, hey, I'm interested. Of course, get in touch with me on Twitter here. And of course, we'll get the party started. Until then, dudes, smash your subscribe. See you soon for the next one. Until then, we're out.